Yo, welcome to All Bullshit Aside. It's episode 3, where we put all the bullshit aside and get straight to it. I'm your host, Sessions from Sessions 365 TV, and today we have a very special guest. You know what it is. Well, you don't know what it is, but I'm about to tell you what it is. He's an awarded ballroom trailblazer and ballroom legend, LGBTQ DFW Hall of Famer, Dallas Southern Pride board advisor for over 10 years, the longest running ballroom chairman in Dallas. He has 28 community mobilization awards, 9 leadership awards, 12 regional and local titles, MC and entertainer, Dallas LGBTQ legend, Shemar Collins Dupree.
Oh wow. Hello. Where'd you get
Yeah.
that from?
Man, I do my research. I do my research.
Where did you get all of that from?
did I
Wow.
did I do my best Shannon Sharp intro?
You did I don't know. It's kind of like I don't know what's wrong with me, but leading up until next week, every day has just been emotional because the people, even like with me talking to you now, it's making me a little bit emotional
Okay.
because it's the people. And man, uh,
We love you. You know we
I
fuck
love
with
this.
you.
I love this city. Hold on, someone saying, "How do I share it? How do my text say? How do I share this to my page?" I don't know. How do I
Just
share
hit
this?
share. I believe on Facebook, in the bottom left corner,
How
there's
would
an
I do
option.
it? Uh-oh. Hold on, let me see this. Hold
What you
on.
would do is use your if you're not on your phone or on another device, just go to your Facebook page, and then of course go to my Facebook page, and then
Oh,
just
okay.
share it. Yeah.
Interview.
Yep.
Interview.
Yep. Let me throw
Okay.
this in here real quick.
Okay, so how do I go back on to you?
Um, go back in the app or on the browser where you were. Yeah, there you go.
Hello, I found you. I'm back. All right. That's a
All
lot.
right.
So I don't do interviews. This is my first podcast. I've did radio shows before.
Okay.
So but thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man, I
Um,
appreciate you for accepting the invite. I first
and
got the
coming behind, I watched the interview with Betty Neal
okay,
and PT.
okay.
So I was like, here I come. What can
Yeah,
I say? But I'm ready. And I put- and
okay.
I and I meditated today and said, just give people what you've been giving them for so long. That's just being honest, real.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
how we want. We gonna take a little time, get to know you, go into your career and many accomplishments, which congratulations on all the accomplishments and things you've accomplished over the last 20 or plus years or so. So yeah.
great. Yeah.
Um
Wow.
so let me ask you real quick. Where are you from, Shamar? I'm sorry.
I'm from Dallas. My family migrated here, so my both my parents are not they're not Dallas natives.
Okay.
Uh, so nor neither are my grandparents. So I would probably be a first generation
Okay.
uh, Dallas resident. I have a phenomenal cultural background, if
Okay.
you will, with my family. So. Uh,
Tell us about that.
uh, So, without with just making it brief, but yeah, but my family migrated here. I'm a blended. Uh,
Okay.
I'm blended. So people have
Okay.
always asked, yes, I'm black, but not black. So I have a little bit of black and Dominican cultural roots. So uh, and my on my mom's side, they just have this phenomenal historical background. My great, I guess my great grandmother married the slave owners uh,
Okay.
son. Well, not married, but they got together, and the father gave them land, and so
Okay.
so on my mom's side, you know, they are, uh, you know, what was considered back then mulattoes.
Okay.
So they're very famous ranch in Louisiana, Sweeney Ranch, historic.
Okay.
Yeah. So just you know, uh, beautiful family. I could talk about my family
Yeah.
all
Right.
day. Yeah, and
No,
we're
I
very
can.
close.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah.
I was gonna say that I can relate to that because my grandmother's dad, his father was actually a white man and
Hmm.
his mother was full-blooded Cherokee.
Hmm. Yeah,
So yeah, so my grandmother's dad wasn't even really a black man. He was
yeah,
white.
yeah.
He had
So
uh
yeah,
Indian. So yeah,
yeah.
I definitely.
I'm a little compilation of everything
Mhm.
as far as racial background.
Okay.
But like I said, a phenomenal, you know, rooted family
History.
ancestry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's that with my family. We could talk
Yeah.
about them more.
You said you was from Dallas. What high school did you go to?
I went to DeSoto High School and I went to Kimball High School.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so I ended up okay, long story short, let me be honest. I used to I was fighting a lot. And
Okay.
so I ended up going to having to go to DeSoto
Okay.
because I think at that particular point, what DIS was doing, if you were fighting or getting suspended or whatever, they wasn't fucking with you. So I think
Right.
at that point, my mom was like, now let's put his ass somewhere else.
Yeah.
Only to put me in DeSoto, and the outcome was still the same. I
Why
still was.
why you was doing all that fighting?
Well, you know what? It wasn't even intentionally. I think even when my family we were just together for my sister's birthday last weekend. A lot of the times, it wasn't really me. My sister and my cousin were really bad, and me and Kennedy Davenport likes to say I was a bully in high school. She loves to say that I was a bully, and I guess to a certain degree, I was. I consider it being protective, but my sister and my brothers and my cousin, they was always in some shit. So I was always having to resolve those issues, and I think that that's what kind of like got coined on me back then was that I was fighting a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You and Kennedy Davenport, are y'all related or y'all just went to school together?
no, so Kennedy and my sister
Okay.
uh went to it was a school elementary school called Bertie Alexander, and
Okay.
her and my sister were classmates,
Okay.
and that's really how. And so where we lived, Kennedy lived on the other side of the hill in Oak
Okay.
Cliff, and so they were really close. And so I think that that was early on her perception of me that I was her and my sister. She was saying me and my sister were always fighting people. So yeah, I guess it's true, but you know.
No, you know what? I want to believe you, but you might not remember, but I went to school with Eric.
Yeah. Okay. So you know my brother.
Yeah, so
So
it's in you, Shamar. So
yeah,
don't.
so yeah, so okay, then enough said. So if you know my brother, then you do know like we was fighting a lot. That I mean, that's bad. It's like now looking on it, it's like God damn,
But when
but
I
yeah.
when I met you, I would have never thought that because again, my first time being in your presence or even knowing who you were was when I was coming to M and Pearl back in the day. And I
Mm,
remember that Eric just so happened to be in the club, and I'm like, "What's up, bro?" Like, cause me and him was
yeah,
already kicking it and skipping school,
yeah, yeah.
hanging out. And I remember him telling me like, "That's my brother," and I just remember you kind of watching us, kind of seeing like what y'all about to let me make sure y'all don't get into nothing. Now it makes sense. Fast forward 20 years later, it makes
Yeah.
sense on why you was really on some. Because I think I remember you actually saying like, I'm just making sure y'all don't get in no trouble. Like y'all
All
be
the
good.
all the time, my mama was just kind of like, I always watch my sister and brothers or whatever. And so that's just really kind of like stayed with me. So, and
Okay.
keep in mind, I got three brothers and three sisters.
Okay.
So,
Are
yeah.
you the
So,
oldest?
yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
My daddy, I don't know.
Did you, did you grow up in the house with your mom and dad? All six of y'all were
No,
together? Or
no, 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 no. So I have my mom and I don't like to say stepfather, but my mom and uh, um, the dad that I grew up with, and then I have my natural father. So, but and I want to say this collectively, my family is very blended. So growing up, with parents, it's trial and error.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So my mom and my natural father, they didn't see eye to eye at times. So and I get that now. I didn't understand it when I was younger. I was really, really upset about certain things growing up that now I understand. But one of the things that I'm grateful for is that I had a living father who taught me just all the tools that you need to be a man. Those things like driving, how to treat people, and all of those things. So I have two fathers. I don't like to say step because it takes a village. So
Right.
even in this community, I have uh, fathers
Mhm.
because there was a period in my life, and even still, I need mentorship. I need people that I can talk to, people that can pour into me
Mhm.
the things that I need to be my best self, because I
Right.
recognize, that it's healthy to have
Mhm.
somebody that you can lean on and to be there for you.
What was it like coming out being a gay man and then like talking to your father and then your biological father?
Well, so this is all bullshit aside. So and I'm gonna say this: everything that I say is my truth.
Mhm.
So if I say some things, if you ask me and then get to that and reflecting,
Mhm.
um, whatever I say, I mean no harm, but it's my honest truth, and I'm not holding on to anything that I say. So I am what I consider the millennium.
Okay.
When I came out in the new millennium, where I think the where the revolution of people really recognizing this lifestyle uh, just started to really change. With that being said, I still was kind of playing the game a little bit.
Mhm.
So I didn't get to have a sit down and say, "Hey, mom, hey, dad, I'm gay. This, and that." My parents, I was deprived of that because I had an issue with somebody because I was doing everything on the low. I had a girlfriend, doing all of that.
Okay.
How playing the game.
Right.
Because my intent was never to really stay in this.
Okay.
Like, and you would have to have the mindset of what I felt like so many of us that are, and I'll say this, 40 and under,
Okay.
right? Because that's where I fall.
Okay.
Um, that my mindset was, I just want to fuck around, you know, let me see what this is. I still like girls. I'm still fucking with girls. I had this girl that I had in my mind that I wanted to be with. I wanted to marry. All of these were my personal, this was my plan.
Mhm.
Well, that was ruined because there was a situation where I had a friend who I was really cool with. He was just my friend.
Mhm.
But he had another friend who
Okay.
was gay, who was kind of jealous of our friendship and called my mom and told my mom that I was gay and I was going out and all of that. So I came home one day and my mom they asked me to come into the room and share a bedroom. Her, my dad, my stepdad, and she was just like, "I want to ask you a question." She said, "Who is Dominic?" That was the guy's name that told her. And I was like, "That's my friend." She said, "Oh, that's your friend, huh?" Like that. So she said, "Let me ask you a question. Are you gay?" And I said, "No, ma'am." She's like, "No, you're lying because he said you be going out, this, and that." So it just went crazy. And that was really that. So after that, I took a break and I went to go sit with my aunt and my uncle
Okay.
for the summer because it was just really bad at home. Not bad where we were fighting,
Mhm.
but I think my mom, through her own hurt and trying to rationalize the idea that her son was gay at that particular time, was trying to figure out, so I needed to leave. So I went to stay with my aunt and uncle in Pleasant Grove. And but during that time I went to my real dad's too. And he was like okay with it. He was like, "Well, shit,
Okay.
we already knew. We talked about it." He said, "I don't really care. Just take
Okay.
care of your business."
Okay.
So I had a healthy balance because I felt like while my mom is trying to, you know, go through this respectfully, at least I kind of have my dad that understands it. And then, of course, it didn't stay long with my mom because my mom is really like my biggest support system, now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was that.
Mhm.
Um, and so, I think that was probably the little, period of uh,
Yeah.
little tension that I went through with, my family with
Um,
that.
when you figured out like who you was, or you was, because you said that you was kind of like having fun. Who was it that kind of took you under your like they wing, or did you have somebody, or like was it because homeboy was
Well,
gay
so
already? So
when I was in the ninth grade, this is how young, and I want to say this, it doesn't surprise me when I see very young people out because my when I was in the ninth grade, I was uh 15, right? 15 years old. So I had a friend who was Demarcus. His mama would let him take his car. We were going to, that was the first person that was really like, I could tell. And we were
mhm.
going to this little thing that we call group in Fort Worth, where there was a circle group,
Okay.
and you had teenagers that would sit around that were really working through their sexuality, talking about all these, things that we go through. So I had him. We were at that time we couldn't get in any clubs. Keep in mind, 15. We would just ride around. He took me to Cedar Springs, and when the first time he took me to Cedar Springs, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, niggas out there, big niggas too,
Yeah.
wearing Daisy Dukes, holding hands. I was scared of I was scared of drag queens at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, bro, what the fuck is so really in my mind, he really like looking at it now, he was really baiting my ass. You know what I'm saying? You know how we
Yeah.
do with the trade? We slick
Yeah.
take them around and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To really see how they gonna feel. So
Yeah.
eventually my comfort level, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't doing anything. Now he was already advanced. He was already fucking and sucking. I wasn't doing
Yeah.
shit. Then
Yeah.
he eventually, we had two other friends that one of them was his cousin Terry. Then uh, Marcus Roberts, also known as Morlantis McIntosh. That
Okay.
was our other friend. So it was really us at first. And then Chad eventually came in. Then the next year we met my friend Winston and Anthony, who we call Anastasia. So it really started out with us. Then came Donnie, Terry, Munt. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So our little group grew. You know what I'm saying? And so we had our little clique or
Is
whatever.
Donnie
So
Donasia?
no, Donnie died. He's no longer living with us. But yeah, Donnie was a holler. Uh,
Wh- What was what was the gay clubs y'all was going to, sneaking and going?
so this is funny. So we at the time, keep in mind, we just, we in high school, we 15, so we out there, just back then, it was all about, you know, we were told we couldn't get into any clubs,
Mhm.
but after a certain time, after hours, the clubs were staying open till 4 o'clock in the morning then,
Okay.
that we could just walk into the village station.
Okay.
And the only club that we could get in that nobody really would fuck with us was called Big Daddy's. And
Okay.
Sally Duvall was the very first uh, drag queen.
Okay.
And I'm seeing it from my era. That's what it was. She was the first drag queen, first female in person. We thought she was a real girl that we met, and she said, "Y'all
Okay.
can't get in the club. Let me show y'all how to get in the club. Just walk like y'all paid." So we walked up in there. So after that, our only club that we would get into would be S4 because after 2 o'clock, they wasn't asking for any identification
Okay.
or whatever. So we just could walk up in there. So for like the very first year, that's all we did was cruise the strip, hang out, and that
Okay.
was that. Um, Unbeknownst to us, we didn't know that there was a black element to this community. We thought it was
Okay.
just Cedar Springs. So
Okay.
for that very first year, that's all we were doing, going on the strip. Okay. Well, my sophomore year come around, we
Okay.
find out it's this black shit going on. Because we met these guys or whatever, and they said, well, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, there was a club that they used to go to called the Lexus of
Okay.
75 in Greenville. And that
Okay.
was kind of like a Thursday night, Wednesday night vibe or whatever. Because one of the guys that liked me, um, Bobby, Bobby Green, he was a dancer there at the time. He was a dick dancer. So we would go there, still
Wait, he
couldn't
was
get
a what?
in.
Hold on. He was a what?
Dick dancer.
What is that?
A stripper,
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so I use old colloquial, terms. So we went there, met him, but we still couldn't get in. Okay,
Okay.
fuck. Then here comes this other club. We still underage. This club called uh, Misha's. It was
Okay.
called Misha's. So my friend Demarcus, well, Marlantis, he was a little hottie back then.
Okay.
Believe it or not, he was a hottie. And he was always going out. We didn't understand it. The bitch 16. We in school. He getting in all these places. So he met this guy, and I don't want to say his name because I don't want him to seem like he's a pedophile, but that's what comes along with. Well, I'll tell it. He was messing with this guy named AT. And so AT was like working with them, and he helped us get into Misha's.
Okay.
So when we got into Misha's, lo and behold, it was like, whoa. That was my first introduction that there was black people that looked like us, and they were boys that you
Hmm.
really couldn't clock, and lesbians that, you know what I'm saying? And back then the code was you family, that was, yeah, hey, you family. So that was my first introduction to seeing a club full of African Americans and the masses, you know, having a good time. Because prior to that, it was just the white scene that I really didn't identify with. You know,
Right.
I didn't. Um, and so moving forward, then there came the Metro,
Okay.
and that was a historical landmark to
Okay.
me, and where I think everything began to change with me. You know,
Was that where you first started doing shows?
no, funny story. So, oh, we were going. The first place where we were able to very really really just see shows was at the Brick
Okay.
on Maple.
Mhm.
To this day, my favorite motherfucking club, bitch. To this day. And I worked at the Element Pearl and I was at the Metro, but where I had a Wang Dang Doodle,
Okay.
bitch, was at the motherfucking Brick on Maple. And
That was real.
so that was the first time I saw We saw shows. So that was where we loved to go on Fridays and where we saw the shows and where I saw my very first, the MC was, at the time was Betty.
Okay.
And Betty at the time, I didn't know anything. I just knew she was this huge figure
Okay.
in this community because you have to keep in mind I'm 16.
Okay.
So Betty was making the moves. Betty was running splash. It was Betty Ronaldo
Ronaldo.
Allen, who I don't think gets enough credit
Okay.
because he's a nameless face in this community. Ronaldo Allen did, was like the promoter, bringing the people, bringing Lil Kim, bringing the folks back in the day. He was, in my opinion, the Kirk Myers of the late '90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
It was Ronaldo Allen and Betty Neal, and Betty Neal was a phenomenal MC. And Betty to me is kind of like how people are in ballroom because Betty had so much credit under her belt. You wanted to work where she was at because it gave you value.
Mm.
Something that I think a lot of people don't have. It was you wanted Betty on your credit report
Yeah.
because she validated you. That was low before I got into the metro circuit. So I knew I wanted to work over. I didn't even know I wanted to perform. We really at the time we was just going to see the shows, and at the time we only wanted to see Jody.
Okay.
We only wanted to see Jody. We get there just in time to see Jody. We knew she was going last. We only
Yeah.
wanted to see Jody, but I saw all these huge talented people like Jody and Chanel St. John and Versace Wellington, Ruby Scott, Keisa, Chris D, Brandy. Those were the folks
Okay.
on for me. Hold on, let me cut this down. Because see
Okay.
now I want to get into it. So those were for me those people, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna make a point because I'm going back to some of the things y'all were talking about the other day, and I'm
Okay.
gonna show you why it makes sense. So for me, uh, keep in mind a year before I was on the white circuit,
Okay.
and what I saw and what was considered to be drag and all of those things is what I considered to be lackluster. I did not identify with it. I was disconnected from it. You know, not no shade to them.
Right.
That was and here's the thing. It's okay to own who you are I celebrate being a person of color. I celebrate it,
Absolutely.
and so I'm not disconnected from the fact that I am a black man, right?
Hmm.
And I don't play those kind of games and act like it takes a lot for you to be a person that's not black to move me on the show. Seriously, because other than that, I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And you say all bullshit aside, I think
Yeah.
it's hocus pocus.
Yeah.
I don't like certain aspects of that because I think some people they play with that art form. I'm not, I don't like, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I have my people that I really enjoy. So y'all know I'm real. So um fast forward, that was when I really started to see really good talent was on the brick circuit. So my friends, there was a little talent night thing that they did. Well, not even a talent night. On Wednesdays on Joe's side. And my friends told me, well, you're gonna go over there and do it. I said, well, I'm gonna do it over there because I didn't have to have any ID to sign up to do the talent night. Went over there, performed, and only made $6 fucking on the show. So I was like, let me leave this shit alone. And that was that. So I didn't perform for like that was that.
Okay.
Um so fast forward,
Okay.
we ended up going to the metro
Okay.
and because we were following. Oh, and this is kind of, I'm going back a little bit. The MC at the time at Misha's was Sophia McIntosh, icon comedian, and she left and then ended up getting hired at the Metro. So we
Okay.
kind of was following her, because it was Marlantis's gay mom. And that's how I ended up getting into that environment and then seeing a whole nother entity of the black community. So I knew about the brick, and the brick was where I had a wine dang doodle, a good time. But the reason that the Metro was so important and key to me because Ray Dyer was the first black gay owner, club owner
Okay.
that I knew. And so the why that was so significant was because you hear these stories about people talking about they had to show two IDs to get in the club. That wasn't my story because I couldn't get in the club. That was before my time a little bit. And anything after that, I was sneaking my ass in the club or standing outside asking people, can we use their wristbands or whatever? Because we were still underage when we was getting the Metro. So we were still underage, right?
Okay.
So I meet Ray Dyer, and I think Ray Dyer was just this a black gay man who gave us a space where we could be ourselves.
When you
Right?
did your first show, was it as the man or did you do it in drag?
No, I was a boy. I was always a boy. I never wanted to do drag.
Okay.
Ever. Ever.
Okay.
Ever. I've done turnabout or whatever, and they
Okay.
can't take it. I've done like house pads and stuff at the house, and they couldn't take it. But but no, I've always been a male entertainer, and at
Okay.
that time, I felt like, in my opinion, it was two guys that I admired. One was Versace Wellington, and the other guy was Sedarius Quad. They called him Flex. Those
Okay.
were Flex was this amazing. They both were just amazing male entertainers, and I studied them. And those were the people that I wanted to be like. If I could ever get to that level, those were the people
Okay.
that I wanted to be like. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Because that definitely was one of my questions. I like you actually answered a lot of my questions that I got. So we good. You on point. This means that I was on point
Mhm.
with my questions because we right on it. Um, I want to ask you too about blueprint. What's the blueprint?
Okay. Wow. So as we're approaching my 25th industry anniversary,
Okay.
uh 25 long years, you
Congratulations.
have to thank you. I don't know. I've been blueprint, and I'm gonna show you something, and I'm gonna say this for people that don't know why. I'm very bashful when it comes to things that I have done. And at times I feel like I've had to downplay it because I went through this period where people don't really like when you're celebrated too much. You know, we have a great community, but we have a very uh, spiteful community at times. And I love that too. So for me, I went through a period where I just kind of like, they would say, oh, you did this. Hey, Shamar. Even when I go out and then Shamar, 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 I try to be, normacy is very important to me because at the end of the day, you know, I didn't expect the things that happened for me to happen for me. It was really just about making some money,
Okay.
if I could, at the time. But Blueprint came from, you have to understand in this community, historically, it's even today, the face of most of our MCs were either female illusionist slash drag, or it was some type of or lesbian, which was Betty. So when I came out, the only MCs that I ever saw was Betty Neal,
Mhm.
Um, and then on the Metro side was Sophia McIntosh and
Mhm.
PT.
Okay.
PT would MC on Thursday nights as a guy or whatever. And I didn't even know because I didn't know how that shit worked. I didn't even
Right.
know because back then I thought that if you did drag, I thought you really was like you had titties and shit. I
Yeah.
didn't really know. So and I was so young, and in my ignorant mind, I didn't know how PT did that or whatever. So, so I only saw those three MCs: Betty Neal, PT, and Sophia McIntosh. Those were the people that I kind of studied a little bit, if
Okay.
that makes sense, right?
Mhm.
I studied them. So let me go ahead and get ahead of myself. I hate this part too. Um, Back in 2003, after the Metro closed, um, great Glenn Hunter and Ricky Baker
Mhm.
took over the Metro, and henceforth continue with
Mhm.
the Element Pearl. What people, the highs and the lows about that is that the expectation was that when the Metro reopened, that that whole vibe was going to happen.
Mhm.
What they fail to realize is when I go back to saying this whole resurrection of this new millennium era came more presence of the African American community on the black gay nightlife circuit, right?
Okay.
So what you saw in the Metro, you didn't get at Elmer Pearl,
Okay.
right? So I was performing because they didn't want me on Sunday. That's another story. I was just performing on Sunday. Champagne was the promoter on Friday nights at the Element Pearl. She was a stripper. For those people that don't know, she was a stripper. Got highly recognized for having a 2 second role in the Players Club. And that was her
What?
claim to, yeah, Champagne was, what do you call those people?
An extra?
An extra in the Players Club. And so that was where, and henceforth she became a promoter on Friday nights, Champagne Fridays, right? And
Yeah.
and and, and she was ingenious. She was a genius because what she did was she created, because at the time, women couldn't go to the strip clubs like that to see the female strippers.
Right.
So what her contribution was is she made the strippers the focal point of the show. It wasn't you know what I'm saying? So it was
Mhm.
about the strippers. And she had maybe, I think even at the time, she didn't have any drag on the show. She probably had some studs, films, and maybe a couple of boy entertainers, right?
Mhm.
And I was just performing on the show. At the
Okay.
time, I don't know if it was PT, because this is how we got here. PT was the MC
Okay.
um on Champagne Show. And uh, okay, I'm gonna tell you what was told to me.
Okay.
I came there one Friday and Glenn said, Shamar, I have a huge favor of you. Could you MC my show? Because PT quit, right? And in all fairness to PT wanted more money,
Mhm.
and that was it. I'm not gonna tell her version of that. That was what was sold to me. PT quit because she wanted more money that I felt like she deserved. So I said, okay. He said, let me tell you this. At the time, this is 2003. I'm underage. I'm not even 21 yet. I'm
Yeah.
making $25 just to perform. Champagne was giving me $25.
Okay.
But bitch, the way they tipped back then, I was making $300 in tips. You know
Yeah.
how it was back then. They tipped. So, okay, Glenn said, well, he finessed me. I'll give you $75 to MC my show. And I said, okay. I'll give you $50 more, which means that was 75. I said,
Right.
okay. So henceforth, I was the MC, and they kept asking me to come back. Then I eventually became the MC for his Sunday because the MC was Claudia Foster at the time, and she quit. And then next thing you know, I was emceeing on Thursday. I was MC, I was dominating. So when people, unbeknownst to me, like I said, it was another form of income that was coming into my household.
Mhm.
I hustled at the time, so the money was great on top of what I was making, and I was in a relationship. And going back to the blueprint, I didn't realize at the time that I really was just the only male MC that was that face that people saw. And I think what really helped was because it's the new millennium, it was people that was coming to the club at that time that identified with me.
Mhm.
If that makes sense. It
Yeah.
was like it was relatability there.
Mhm.
I didn't stray away from the fact that I was an Oak Cliff ass nigga. I didn't stray away from the fact that at the time, I was a hustler. I did all those things. And where people kind of feel like, oh, that's ghetto. No, I was just culturally connected to the place where I was working at, right?
Right.
And that was just really what that was. And so again, to be just the face and be a boy that I feel like in a industry where it's dominated by the female impersonators. So
Mhm.
I felt like the fact that I was able to have my own show,
Mhm.
be a promoter, I created all those events and all of those things at that place for 10 years. And I'm taking away the 1 year that I went to prison. So for people to grow up under me, and what other male MC do you know right now?
I guess none.
Right.
Really, none.
So think about it. 10 years from 2003 to 2012. And now
Mhm.
it's just like me popping my shit. And what happened? So then I ended up working at the Brick. So at one point I had 6 nights a week where I was having my own shows, having my own night between the Brick on Maple and the Elm and Pearl.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Which catapulted my career, did everything for me. I didn't
Okay.
have a national title under my belt. I didn't have none of those things and was making money out the ass.
Mhm.
So fast forward, and I'm just gonna say that between 2003, 2012, you talking about 3 nights a week, 52 weeks out the year. I put together over 1,800 events.
Damn.
1,800 between 2003, you do the math. 52 weeks out the year, no breaks. I took out the year I went to prison, right? My weekends were gone, right? 52 weeks out the year, you got to come up with your events. Red party, black party, PP birthday, JoJo birthday,
Yeah.
pageants, all of those things from, you know what I'm saying? Now, we're not even counting the shit that I've done from 2013 till now, where you looking at a guy, a gay male, who's had more events in this city than any other black gay male. There wouldn't be no reason to question why we'll be having an industry party next week. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's not to my own horn. It's just me taking credit for what I know that I've done. There's only one other person that I know that's probably had more events in this city than me, and it's Betty Neal.
I was about to say
A
Big Neil.
lesbian. A lesbian.
Yeah.
But there's no boy. Keep in mind, I didn't have how y'all got street teams and
Yeah.
this club team. I was a one-man show, baby. And I could do it all. I put together my own events.
Mhm.
I emceed my own events. I booked my own events. I performed. I did everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it comes a lot of sacrifices with that too,
Right.
because the owners don't want to pay shit and all of that. And so I'm having to pay for this. I'm having to still in this little ragged ass club give people an upscale experience. You know,
Right.
um,
'Cause
you
I think
know,
I seen somewhere where it said you spent about roughly $200,000 over a 20-year span,
probably, yeah.
maybe
I
more.
just, I probably have spent more because even
Hmm.
just to throw a ball before I even got support from like people like Kirk, it was costing me $20,000 to put on a ball.
Yeah,
So
tell
the
me,
money, yeah.
I mean to cut you off. Tell me real quick about the about a ball, because that I want to understand ballroom a little bit more. Because I'm gonna tell you how I got I guess introduced to it was actually watching Legendary.
Hmm.
So I was scrolling and I was seeing a show, seeing some gay people, and I see some gay people. I'm like, shit, let me check this out and see what this about. So I started
Oh,
watching Legendary, and then I was seeing like the different houses and how they were competing and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, this is like a real thing. Like I've seen voguing before, but I didn't know, and I've seen them like, videos where to me, I just thought they was at a club or a party and was just kind of doing their
hmm,
thing.
hmm.
So I got on YouTube and I started Googling ballroom Dallas. And guess who popped up?
Oh,
You. I'm
oh.
watching a video and I'm just looking at it and I'm like, okay, they doing their thing. And I look over there, it's you on the mic. I said, is that Shamar?
So let me make this, say this real quick. With being a promoter, you have to continually come up with things to keep the people interested.
Mm-hmm.
So for a brief period, I lived in Atlanta. And when I
Okay.
lived in Atlanta, that was my first time actually seeing what ballroom looked like. My gay mother, Raquel Lord, is the mother of, at the time, was the mother of a house, Balenciaga. So that was kind of like what I knew about it. I liked it and decided, okay, well, I want to bring that element to Dallas. I kind of had heard that, they were trying to do it and things like that, but I wanted it to be something a little bit more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the very first time I had a night on Wednesdays, 2005, 2004, and I and they were doing like little mini balls at the time. I left it alone because my boyfriend was stripping. So my son, Don One, continued to keep it going, and then him and Tito. Fast forward, I decided that I wanted to kind of start it up again, and so we started having mini balls at the Elm and Pearl
Okay.
every fourth Sunday. And at the time, it was about having the mini balls every fourth Sunday. Then the big ball would be the lipstick ball or during Pride weekend. So that was
Mm-hmm.
the first time that they kind of experienced. It was a little different back then. Um, the ball community uh, is very influential uh, uh, in this community because it gives, I think now, where back in the day, the shows and the pageants was people's uh, kind of entrance into entertainment, but it
Right.
wasn't for everybody. Ballroom is actually uh, a culture that anybody can be in ballroom because there's a category for somebody, you know. Um, and that was why I wanted it because I think they were getting kind of tired of the shows and shit at Elm and
Okay.
Pearl. Then I realized the atmosphere changed, our community changed. And as a promoter, you got to kind of pay attention to, and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
drop some nuggets. To be successful, you got to pay attention to the shift of the community if you want to keep people involved because there's only so much of going out, standing around drinking that people can do. That shit get old after a while. So you got to keep people engaged and you
Right.
have to continue to be versatile. And also, I would say, I think what also gave me a bit of an advantage was I didn't just play in my support wasn't just the guys, my support was the lesbians too.
Hmm.
So I had support from the girls and the guys, you
Yep.
know. Um, but the ballroom is a big, plays a big role now in this scene,
Okay.
in Dallas. Yeah.
Um, you were awarded a ballroom legend. Tell me, one, how does one become a ballroom legend?
Well, it's okay. A lot of times it depends on if you walk a certain category. Which when I only play with two categories. I only play with Pretty Boy Realness and I play with Best Dress.
Okay.
And I did lip sync a little bit. I didn't really, but what my legendary status came from was because just being a trailblazer here. One of the founders, because I don't take full credit, it took a village, but I
Mm-hmm.
do take credit for being the person that said we was going to do this consistently. I was the first person to say, okay, well, we're going to have a major ball annually. We're going to have all of we created alliances. The structured aspect of ballroom in this community, I take full credit for because you have to have structure. Other than it, you'll have chaos. So when I got my legendary status, I didn't even know that I was getting it, and I didn't even want it because I felt like at the time I wasn't even through with what I wanted to do. But God is so good because I needed to take a break from it too. So it was bittersweet because the minute that I got it, I decided that I didn't want to. I need to take a break from it for about a year or two.
Okay.
So
What's
yeah.
the difference between legendary, star, statement, and icon?
So a star is somebody that's beginning their category. They haven't really been walking it long, but they've kind of dominated it a little bit, and
Okay.
so they're being recognized as really as a beginner. And I don't want to offend anybody, but this statement is someone that's still been consistently walking their category, making noise, but kind of like in that intermediate stage
Okay.
of walking ballroom. So people know them. Here they come, hitting that flow.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Here that bitch come again. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They hungry,
Right.
hungrier. But then the star is hungry, but that statement person is hungrier.
Okay.
That legendary person is somebody who has really made moments,
Okay.
phenomenous wins. If not walking, they've been consistent in some form of support within the ballroom community. So
Okay.
that's how one gets their legendary status. And then an icon is somebody who's still kind of been in it after so long, and they've been still. We still want to recognize you for
Okay.
your contributions. That's how I look at it, or whatever. On a soft, it's a watered down a little bit because every 3 days they're giving somebody a legendary status.
Yeah.
Every 3 days now. So, um, but
What about the LGBT DFW Hall of Fame?
well,
What
I got that. I got that probably 2009 or 10.
okay.
And at that point, like I said, I think that was when the reality of just like being a blueprint really kind of hit me.
Hmm.
So just to be able to have somebody say, we're going to put you in the Hall of Fame, was like, wow, and keep in mind, I still wasn't like ready for that because I think, yeah, it was 2009. I wasn't even 30. You see what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
it's sometimes it's hard to even look at like somebody that's been doing it for 25 years but started as a teenager
Right.
because you know what I'm saying. It's like
Hmm.
the things that you're accomplishing that people haven't even done by the time they are 30. So when I got it, I didn't even realize what the fuck I had, what they was giving it to me for. Now I understand it
Yeah.
because I see what people were seeing. Like I just told you, I didn't realize that I had really been the most recognizable face for being a male MC, and being promoting wise. I didn't realize that I had. surpass, you know, I mean, to be a promoter, only imagine to be a promoter and feel like, damn, if I could really just do the shit that Shemar has done.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if I don't want to do anything else, I'm okay. Because
Got
I'm kind of Beyonce about the situation. It's gonna take a lot to top that. I can be Beyonce about the situation right now, and I'm owning this piece in my because I did the work, and I say
Right.
this all the time. I did the work, and it's gonna take a bad motherfucker to come and break those records. You see what I'm saying?
For
It's
sure.
gonna it's gonna first you got to start off just being consistent in entertainment, being a promoter, and all of those things. And I
Mhm.
didn't have a group. It didn't take four of us to get 200 people in no club. It just was me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I can be very Beyonce about the situation and just throw out some shit out the blue,
Yeah.
whether y'all like it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Real quick, fast forward. I saw that you got your bachelor's degree in 2020 during COVID.
Just go picking up where I left off. I dropped out of college and needed to go back. Let me say something. After when I went to prison, and I'm gonna say this, I'm real honest. I've been in
Okay.
prison 3 times.
Oh wow.
And by the third time, I said, "Bitch, I need to get my shit together." And so it ain't no. It's a while because um, everybody has their journeys, and some entertainers and some promoters are unwilling to talk about the sacrifices that they have made to get to where they are. I'm one who's not. You know, I had did a lot of things to feed myself, clothe myself, but more so just for people to have a good time. Because, like I said, a lot of times what people don't tell y'all is the club owners back then they didn't pay the club. Elmer Purr didn't want to give me no money to pay people to throw on events. They didn't give me shit. So I went into my pocket to do a lot of things, and whatever they gave me wasn't shit. So of course, when you do make those sacrifices, there's always you know things that come with that. You see what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I was out there doing the bad stuff for people to have a good time, but I also had to. You do the crime, you do the time,
Right.
and so I always at some point wanted to get back to the point to where I knew that I wanted to further my education
Hmm.
because I realized the full circle moment about it was is that and I was a sociology major. I knew
Okay.
that I needed that to even justify what I wanted to do with this community.
Hmm.
I think that we can sit on lives and talk about the violence, the why we can't go here, why people don't want us to go in spaces, and how important inclusivity is. And we have to first understand what inclusivity is.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying, and what that looks like. And inclusivity doesn't mean I want to be accepted by white people and I want to be able to go in y'all place and make y'all enjoy who I am as a black person. What that means to Shamar is I want to be afforded the same opportunities that you get every day that y'all spent creating laws for y'all to have those privileges. That's all
Right.
I want. I want to be able, if I decide that I want to open up a club on Cedar Springs, a black club, I should be able to, and y'all not say shit. That's a black club. We know they black and we know they cut up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because to
Hmm.
me, it's a big thing when the black folks are out there fighting in the street, but it's not a thing when the white folks are fighting in the street because we got several videos that you see when the white folks and the Hispanics are fighting on Cedar Springs, and y'all
Yeah.
treat it like petting a Yorkie. But my issue is when the black people are fighting, no, it's not okay because people spend money to keep these spaces open, but don't use your discriminatory behavior
Hmm.
as a way to, you know what I'm saying? Because you really don't want us down there in the first place, right?
Right.
But and for me, my thing is, I don't like people wanting convenient black dollars.
Hmm.
Either you want it or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I understand that people say, oh, they used to fight and they do all this. Bitch, they fight every motherfucking where. And they've been fighting in the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, all of that shit. Black folks have been fighting. For me, it's like people want to create these events and act like everybody from Highland Park. No, when you have these events, you're
Right.
going to get people that are from South Dallas, from
Right.
Pleasant Grove and West Dallas. Quit acting like when y'all have these events, y'all don't know where these people coming from. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's going to come into these events and not know how to govern themselves, right? What our responsibility as promoters is to be overprotective of the spaces that we put people in. I
Okay.
can't make you stop acting ignorant. What
But
I
I
can do is, in the event that you start acting ignorant, I'm ready to act ignorant with you. And ignorant to me is to send your motherfucking ass to jail.
right.
And you
Right.
eventually, and at some point, you're going to tell your friends, well, girl, we ain't going over there with Shemar because if we get into a
Right.
fight, we're going to lose stereo. And bitch, it's,
For
not,
real.
it's 90 cents for a suit, and I ain't got but $20 on my motherfucking books. So
For
that's
real.
what people know about me. If you come over here, you can fight all you want to, but bitch, you're going to jail and I'm going to press charges. I'm going to tell the police you hit me. I'm gonna make your life as uncomfortable as possible. And the only reason that I can give that is because I know what it's like to be disruptive. I'm not acting like I wasn't that person. I was that very person that we have a problem with. I tore the shit up of those people, clubs and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they banned my ass too. And you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just sometimes it bothers me when we act like we don't know the kind of people you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, I don't want to have this and I want everybody to be able to come to something that I'm doing.
Right.
But I also know that there is a possibility that there's going to be something. And
Right.
it ain't just what we consider the ghetto people. A lot of times when you get bitches with bachelor's degrees and they get a little bit of liquor and powder in their nose, they start acting stupid too.
Oh, we seen
You
Married to Medicine.
Yeah, they start acting stupid too. And do I think it's about the music? No, I don't think it's about the music. I think it's about how they look at it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They look at it as we don't want you to play that music, not because it creates fights. What it does is it makes it a little too ethnic. And we don't want to steer away our people. You know what I'm saying? Because what does ethnic is an undertone for being too black, as an undertone of being too ghetto, as an undertone of being violent. That's how some people see black people.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the undertones. So saying the music is, oh, we don't want it to be too black in here. Say that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Say that shit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Don't be, it's the music. No, you don't want it to be too black in here.
Right.
Because hit a bitch your head with a bottle, um, it's a problem. A bitch, my mama's 60 and they playing that shit when they go out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no fight. You know what I'm saying? So I just have a problem with certain when people trying to act like racism does not exist.
Yes.
And for me, yes, there's an LGBTQ plus community, but don't think that it's everybody for everybody.
Right. Right. For
You
sure.
know, just quit thinking because he white and he gay that he also ain't no racist because he is.
No facts.
Don't yeah,
Real,
yeah.
real quick, I wanted to touch on before I don't know how long you got. We good because we did start a little late, but I did want to touch on your advocacy. All the things that you've done as far as like all the charity work, your toy drives and
Oh
stuff like
wow.
that. How did you get into that?
Well, the advocacy came a part of me saying that because I recognized being someone who was incarcerated, which is why I admire Kirk Myers so much, is that we have to give back, you know, to our community. And I felt like I do recognize that there was a constant conversation about health and how we should make sure that we are healthy and we're practicing safe sex and wellness, all those things, mental wellness. But I also realized too that which gets into, I don't want to pour what I got going on, but I was also concerned about people like myself who had been formerly incarcerated and being able to be connected to people to allow you to be successful because
Mhm.
the recidivism in Texas right now is very high. That's people coming out and going back in.
Okay.
Even within our own community, look at those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
When you get out and you do something, just how Texas is, they take pride in you keeping that shit on your record.
Hmm.
Or you made a mistake, but you got to worry about where you're gonna live, the kind of job you get, and all of those things. And everybody don't want to work in a warehouse.
Right.
Everybody don't want to only qualify to live where they have to have a camera on their door.
Hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? So for me, that was when I wanted to do that. I wanted to make sure that I was really thoroughly taking care of my community, uh, doing the toy drives for Christmas annually for people in our community, within our community.
Hmm.
And listen to me, I'm for everybody, but I have an obligation to take care of people that look like me, right?
Hmm.
Um, Women and men that have children during Christmas time that we're raising toy drives for them. Not only that, for school, um, we have people that sit silent about trying to pay their rent. All of those things. So
Hmm.
again, that was one of the things that I did like about when I did meet Kurt. I didn't realize that he was really about the community. This was not about popularity, and it's not about popularity with me. It was really like you really once you really understand, you know, what it means. This is why Juneteenth is my favorite time of the year.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you get to be culturally connected to your people, right?
Hmm.
But it's not just an opportunity for us to throw parties, it's also an opportunity for us to collectively get together to talk about what's the next move, who
Right.
doing what. So even with me having a party next week, my anniversary party, but it's my industry party, something that I'm going to do annually. It's an opportunity for entrepreneurs to get together. This is what I got going on. This is what I got going on. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But yeah, charity work is really important to me. Uh, uh, Prison reform work is very important to me.
Okay.
Yeah, and health is very important to me.
What was your relationship with Kirk Myers?
Whew, let me give you that in 2 minutes. I met Kirk. Well, first time I met Kirk, my son, he was kind of dating Kirk. And this was years ago. Fast forward, my other son, Trey, was good friends with Kirk. And he said, oh, I want you to meet this guy. I think you're gonna like him. He's a cancer like you. And he's really trying to get his organization off the ground. And I was like, who is it?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I didn't like Kurt because him and my son, they dated and it didn't go well. So
Hmm.
I didn't like it. So we met. I went up to his office at 10 o'clock. One night we met and we talked. And once we realized, because we were on the same page. But he was like a mentor, like another dad. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? He was like my good auntie slash daddy. Because one minute he your auntie, the next minute he was my dad. But Kirk uh, could handle me. A lot of people can't because I have a strong personality.
Hmm.
And Kirk could handle me. Even when they were doing stuff, he would be like, girl, let me call Shamar.
Yeah.
Because Shamar's not going to go with it. Because, like your thing is all bullshit aside, you can't bullshit me.
Right.
Tell me what it is. I don't want to play this game.
Right.
And so, but Kirk was always constantly saying it's about the work. And it wasn't really until he died and they started talking about his mother that I really understood why he was the way he was. His sister, Michelle, why they are the way they are the most giving people, that you could ever meet. Kirk, it's been so many people that have really fucked over Kirk. And like I said, Kirk wasn't the most likable person, but If you called Kirk and told Kirk, bitch, you was standing outside there to put you out your apartment, he'll help you get a place to stay.
Mm,
And for me, he just did not want me to get in any more trouble.
mm-hmm.
And so that was why I honor him the way that I do. And I don't talk about it much, but I'm never going to allow people to allow his legacy to be because he wasn't beneficial to what the fuck you were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because a person, sometimes people don't like you when you're not beneficial to, when they're
Them.
not beneficial. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people, the come up crew, the
Mm-hmm.
come up crew, people don't like you when, oh, I can't come up off you. So
Mm-hmm.
that, and like I said, you wasn't no angel, but bitch, none of us are angels.
Right.
Yeah, I got people right now that may not necessarily care for me, but that's between them and the God they serve.
Mm-hmm.
However, I know what my true intent is, and I am serving God regardless of how people look at it.
Right.
You know, you know.
Okay.
Um,
That's well, whoever may I guess combat Kirk's legacy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're gonna be wearing a dunce hat because if you Google Kirk Myers, which is what I was saying yesterday, whatever you got to say is gonna be shut
child.
down.
Well, the
So
ignorance is. Let me go and tell you this, and let me say this
I
because,
wouldn't
like I
even say
said,
shit.
let me say this. Let me tell you what the ignorance is, and I'm gonna say it because, like I said last year, people got over because I was grieving. So one of the things that I've hated for many years is that the more successful I got, it was like people started saying, Shamar, don't say this. Don't allow people to do this. Don't do this, and that. And I got tired of this shit because my mother did not raise me that way and my grandmother did not raise me that way. If you feel some kind of way about something, say it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because your intent is not to make people comfortable. Your intent is to call people out and make them uncomfortable in the shit that they doing. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm not gonna play fake with you. I know you don't. I know what you're doing. So with
Right.
that being said, the ignorance of people is thinking that Kirk was doing what he was doing because he wanted. No, this man up 5 o'clock in the morning working on housing, creating events and making Dallas a destination place for people to come to. Because like I said on my live a couple of weeks ago, I came from the era where we were really just putting up fences to have
Mm-hmm.
pride.
Right.
Fast forward, we're bringing some of the most biggest artists in the industry to come here for Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You, to be celebrated as a city in that capacity,
Mm-hmm.
you know, don't know, you have to really be genuine and really care about people to do that. Man got $1 million worth of money for housing and made sure everybody that needed to pay their rent during COVID had it. When there was time for people to get access to those shots where people come get it, 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 come get it. I can go on and on and on, but
Right.
everybody's not going to talk about that. They're going to talk about the bad things. And I say this all the time, bitch, I'm not disregarding the bad, that he wasn't an angel. Hell, bitch, that was the most impactful person in my life. And bitch, we bumped heads all the time because I know I'm a piece of work, but he's a cancer too. And
Right.
when we're passionate about something, we're really passionate about it. But
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I don't, my intent right now is not. I think a part of his legacy for me is it's just remembering him saying, okay, the things that you saying you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
be consistent with it. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Because that I understand, because things still have to happen. We talking about limited spaces and events to go. And I know you made the little post say making LGBT great again. Oh, I was like, ugh. And that's not, because the community is great. I think what's going to allow us as a Black community to be great is us getting to a point to where everybody can be on the same page. And what is the same page? Us saying we want our city to thrive and have good places for people to go. What's disheartening to me is it's like sometimes getting on Facebook and seeing everybody fighting over 3 or 4 people to go to their events.
Oh, okay, okay. I was about
That's
to
what's
say.
that's what's disheartening to me sometimes because every promoter that I see promoting, I recognize how good they are. You see what I'm saying? But they don't. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference.
Why
I
do you think
recognize,
that is?
huh?
Why do you think that is?
Well, because I think um, they easily get blindsided by uh, the the negative stuff. You if your thing is you want to be a promoter, focus on that. Um, a lot of times promoters are fighting because they are actually targeting the same group of people.
Hmm.
And I always say this when I do shit, I'm not fighting with nobody about nobody's crowd. I don't have a problem with seeing, I shout out most of all the other promoters. You know what I'm saying? Even one that I know that's at me a little bit, I still shout them out. You know what I'm saying? I still shout them out. But I know he's at me. And I'm not talking about Marty's.
Okay.
I'm talking about, oh, I'm a real bitch.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I know that you're at me. You know what I'm saying? But like I said 3 weeks
Well, okay,
ago,
wait, pause real quick. So is that what all the paperwork party was about? Because you
yeah, the
threw a
paperwork,
paperwork
the
party.
paperwork was is I kept the receipts on when I was doing something, who called on me.
He
And it
called
was
the
more,
fire marshal.
yeah, right. And that was what it was about. And the reason that I didn't go the route that I wanted to go was because I did what I needed to do. And that was to let him know specifically, bitch, I know what you're doing. But see, here's the thing. You grown, but I'm real grown.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And make sure that when you want to play with me, you make sure you charge the motherfucking hand sticks up.
Why you think that people are? Because I heard I did watch that live, and I heard you say that that when you was looking into your own problem, you kind of did a little bit more digging into other people's little issues as well. Why?
What,
Why do you?
what?
I was gonna say, why do you think that it's even happening? Why would anybody want to even ruin the party? Like, because it's kind of
Well,
bad for
because
everybody.
well, it's not. And I'm gonna say this again and to say this. This is not a money game with some promoters. This is about relevance.
Okay.
People who mama and daddy didn't love them enough. People that sat at the lunch table in school by themselves. People that walked home from school by themselves. That got a little bit of notoriety and want it for themselves, and they are intimidated the minute somebody else do something. They want to be the dominant force in a community that they're unwilling to serve.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? The same people that was calling the police or fire marshals on me ain't nowhere to be found the minute somebody in this community get killed.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't nowhere to be found when it's time to step up. They just want to throw parties and stand around. And I
Mm-hmm.
said it. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But
Yeah.
I know that he's been at me for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm gonna say this like Kirk said, I'm a grown motherfucking woman. And I'm not those type of people that you want to play with like that. You see what I'm saying? I'll let you think you playing with me, little
Mm-hmm.
girl. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you think, since it's all bullshit, I'll let you think
Yeah.
you're doing something. But the minute that I decide, and it could be on a church Sunday, I decide it's time for me to reveal to the world who you really are.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing, waiting for the moment and the opportunity to show the world who you really are. Because
Well.
you have to take your time and build a, you know what I'm saying? That's what I've been
Mhm.
doing. I'm gonna show the world who you really are. But I'm not in competition with nobody, and I don't think nobody
Right.
should be in competition with nobody. I'm saying that focus on what you're gonna do and just do that. Don't be calling on nobody. Don't be calling on nobody. That's stupid. Because here's the thing, and I'm not saying this is what's going on. If you call the fire marshal on Marty's, and Marty's get closed down, then where do everybody got to go?
Right.
If you stop on premise on Sunday, then where do everybody have to go?
Right.
If you stop all the places for black people to go, y'all know they half-ass want us on the strip.
Right.
Where do we have to go? Y'all said the other day, the black people ain't got no motherfucking money. Now they have money. It's just not a vested. It's not a really good idea to vest in that. You know, I worked at Area 111 and you know, we were, you know, street when we were doing that. I know what it's like to sit in those city council meetings or sit in those meetings where the community is saying they don't want your club there. You know, oh, they're gonna drop condoms. It was condoms and needles and they fight. I know what it's like to sit in those places. I know what that looks like.
Wow.
And even when we were trying to do Area 111, people didn't even get what the intent was. The intent was to have a progressive place. We were evolving from the hole in the walls.
Right.
The days of the Elm and Pearl, where the water was leaking out the ceiling, and we still performing and dancing.
Right.
You know, but it was a level of progression that I
Right.
don't think that people recognize when Area 111 happened. Right. So now we don't have very many spaces. Why are we calling on each other? Makes no
Right.
sense to me. And I understand it. But what I'm seeing right now on today's day, I ain't in the mood for nobody to be fucking with me.
Yeah.
Because I'd spend a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? We can play about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah. Cause I feel like I have an obligation to make sure y'all have a good time.
Right.
And I'm real passionate about it. I'm not
Right.
trying to make sure everybody have a place to go so I can be popular. You heard
Right.
what I said in the beginning. If I don't do nothing else, I have broke those records. It's
Right.
gonna be pretty hard for someone to have damn near 2,100 events.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Very hard.
For real.
You know, with their name on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that. And so my legacy is just that and putting a lot of guys on. I'm for working with the new promoters.
Okay.
I get excited when I see a lot of the males performing. I get excited when I meet guys that want to get into emceeing and even like just to be in places sometime and to hear people on the mic that have studied me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, bitch, you done stole my look. 1-2-1-2. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what I love about my son Dre Black. You know, they watched me. You know what I'm saying? I listen to Black Barbie. They watched me because they grew up on me. Right. So that's what my legacy is. You know, it's a continuation of a progressive Black gay community. Right. And I could not have that without standing on the shoulders of people like Betty Neal, a pioneer in PT. They really don't understand what they did for my career.
Okay.
They really don't. And that's why when I get a chance, I try to celebrate them. You know, PT had me blocked, but I don't, but I get it. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna fix that. We gonna get that all worked out so you can give PT his flowers because he would be so happy to hear you say that.
No, so here's the thing. The Shemar today is not the Shemar that he was
When
5
you got
years, 6
blocked.
years. Well,
When you
but
got blocked.
yeah, well, when I got blocked, but I said what I said and I meant what I said.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know, I said what I said and I meant what I said. And I think at the time, and I'm gonna say this, I think that accountability, how I can take accountability for what I said, you know, my intent wasn't to step on your toes. My intent wasn't to do none of that because at the end of the day, what God has for me, he has for me. So I can't take shit from you. You see what I'm saying? Because what God has for me is for me. I ain't got to call no police on nobody's club or nothing because what God has for me is for me. So with me and PT is that I felt like you stood to be corrected, but I still love you. But and you're not always the victim. That was what I was saying. Take accountability for the shit that you have done too. Because ain't nobody just been at you. Now that was what was ruffling my feathers when people try to make it seem like, no, bitch, you did your shit too. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Mhm.
me being real. Ain't nobody at you. You know what I'm saying? I love you down. You put me on shows and things when no, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not standing in the way of nothing that you were trying to do. Cause everything that I've gotten, ain't like everybody want to be on the mic and all of that. Bitch, I'm trying to put on some events. You know what I'm saying? We I'm not on the level, and I'm not trying to be offensive. A lot of them, we not on the same level. We passed those days where I just want to have a mic in my hand.
Right.
I'm on a whole nother level. So that's that. But I love PT down. I would love for PT to come and MC some of the stuff that I'm doing. But I think that we have to work through accountability. And as a grown man, I'm saying I don't have an issue with you. Now, if you wanted to be one, because see, you can block people to run away from taking accountability. You see what I'm saying? My mama ain't
Mhm.
raised me like that. I ain't got to block no motherfucking body. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do
I got
that.
you
So
for sure.
that's that. We grown over here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, but
So
that's that.
okay, let me ask you this real quick. We about to get ready to wrap it up. Do you watch Chasing Dallas?
Yes,
What you think about it?
I think it's a great show.
Hmm.
Let me say this. Reese G, the beginning, when I
Okay.
first got home, Reese G reached out to me about being on the show. I just got home from prison and I was like, girl, no, ma'am. Y'all not gonna be following me to the parole office. You know what I'm saying?
We
I
need
didn't
we need to
want,
see that. We need to see.
but but see now I'm ready to do stuff like that because I was so
Okay.
didn't want everybody in my personal life. But I told Reese no. But I understood what she was trying to do at the time. I thought
Hmm.
it was a great show. I think that it needs to be a little bit tweaked a little bit because every time I watch it, everybody talking about how they mad at somebody. You know, I think they should focus more on people's what they got going on in the industry. So what that will do is it will motivate other people to that's aspiring to do something. You know, y'all on her saying y'all hairstylists, rappers, and all this shit. But everybody, I don't know, because all y'all doing is being mad at each other. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So I think that they need to focus a little bit on that, but I think it's an amazing show.
Hmm.
I personally know a lot of them.
Okay.
My son is on the, you know what I'm saying? He's been on the show for, you know what I'm saying? So I enjoy the show. I just think that they need to revamp what the focus on and what the intent is because people will watch productivity too.
Hmm.
Productivity, the productivity aspect of the show will get you on Bravo.
Yeah, I think that I agree
Yeah,
with you. I feel like that I was
yeah,
shocked because I thought it was going to be a little bit more physical, but I appreciate that it's not so physical and I like the fact that it's just kind of like a bunch of bickering, but I do agree that they could definitely dial in on like what they, give
yeah.
us a little bit more of them and what
I'm
they
personally,
doing.
yeah. So I'm personally not for going somewhere and everybody telling me every single time that they mad at me and got an issue with me.
Right.
Every
I
single
feel
fucking
you.
time y'all mad about something.
I feel
God
you.
damn. You know what I'm saying? That oh girl, well, he didn't speak to me the other day. Okay, well, girl, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Uh,
Right.
I can because I don't even like to say I don't like anybody because I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with and I don't like are two different things.
Right.
I don't
Right.
fuck with is meaning that I don't want you, I don't want you messing with my space.
Right.
But I don't dislike a person. That's something that I don't. And you know what I'm saying? So
What you think about I am Jonathan?
who's that?
Jonathan, the one that does the hair.
Oh, Jonathan. I like Jonathan.
Have you met Jonathan before?
You know what? Only briefly. I think I was introduced to him at Area 111. He had a monkey.
Yeah.
But I like I like him. Well, first of all, bitch, the bitch do some hair.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that's, I think sometimes they paint a bad picture of him. You know what I'm
because
saying?
he
'Cause he's
fighting.
sweet. Yeah, he's sweet.
Mhm.
Like when I met him, he was sweet. Chocolate, got good skin. You know what I'm saying? Half ass a day. I'm saying about that dick big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that. Yeah, I like him.
That's
Uh,
what's up. I like Jonathan too. I like the fact that I mean, people gonna say whatever they gonna say. And maybe because I'm from Dallas, and we get into it, we fight all the time, so that doesn't surprise me. But I feel like that. I appreciate him doing the fighting. Just as on behalf of the LGBTQ, almost like I don't care if you gay, straight, don't, you know what I'm saying? You'll get
yeah,
beat up, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
but yeah,
I,
because he was raised to like just to stand your ground. Don't let nobody
yeah,
run over him. And I'm
mhm,
on with you because I identify with that. You know what I'm
right,
saying? That's a Dallas vibe. I'm sweet
uh-huh,
as pie, but I'm not gonna let you run over me. And like I think sometimes that can be perceived as you're a bad person because like I said, like once upon a time, people are, oh, he a hothead. No, I'm not. Like I speak to everybody. Like I love everybody. I just get upset and what runs me hot. Like my ex said, when you did your little rant on the show, bitch, don't say that's a motherfucking rant. I wasn't ranting. No, I was venting. Those are two different things.
right,
Ranting is complaining. Venting is getting this shit off my chest so everybody can know.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying? That's a difference. Your little rant. No, it's not a rant. It's venting.
right,
I have a bachelor's degree. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna use correct terminologies.
right,
Yeah. But no, it's a Dallas thing.
hmm,
Dallas people by nature have an aggressive energy.
hmm,
We have an aggressive energy, but it can be perceived as we're mean or to some people ghetto
right,
or but even different races from Dallas people, we have an aggressive energy, and you have to be able to sit through. Yeah, like if I walked in the club and I bumped into somebody and spilled a drink on me, uh, I ain't never had no experience with nobody wanted to fight me. You know what
hmm,
I'm saying? But they say people do.
hmm,
But people know, like I don't
yeah,
know. It's just like some of these things that people say going on, I've never uh
experience,
experienced. I would say this: when a lot of the fights and stuff that was going on at Elm and Pearl, it was about people fucking people's girlfriends and
yeah.
boyfriends.
What fun
It
to
was
say?
if
If
you see
you
your
would,
bitch, yeah, that was
yeah,
really what a lot of those fights were about. Even if you look at a lot of the fights that happen in some of these spaces, it really be about that shit.
yeah,
People fucking on each other, girlfriends and boyfriends and shit. And unfortunately, the only time they get to see them is when
is
they
at the
out.
club, yeah,
But it's not because of the music. It be, you know what I'm saying? It be other
hmm,
shit.
hmm,
You have to understand your community too, because it's been
yeah,
times when I worked at the Emma Pearl, people I already knew. People would be like, "Well, Shamar, this is what's going on. She
right,
was with her last week. Now she here with her, or he was with him." You know what I'm saying? So like, you just gotta understand your people, man. I understand my people, and like we a vibe. You know what I'm
right,
saying? I just love every aspect of this city. Like I do. And that's what makes me, whenever we get an opportunity to shine, I want to
hmm,
indulge in it. That was some of the things that I loved the most when Kirk was doing some of the stuff that he was doing. It gave people from other places an opportunity to really see how Dallas is really a vibe. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
hmm,
Dallas is really a great place to live and come to if you allow it to give you that. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
hmm,
that's what I'm really trying to get back to when you say like making the community great. I think that if I'm doing my best shit, guess what it's gonna make everybody else do?
step
They
it
best
up.
shit.
They gotta step that shit up.
That's all I'm doing. I'm
Hmm,
doing my best shit so you can do your best shit. And
hmm,
I ain't even told everybody all the shit that I'm finna do.
yeah,
But just know, oh, this year, oh, is on.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna get y'all best life this summer, bitch. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a Wayne Dang Doodle.
Yeah. This is my last question before we wrap it up for real this time. Give me your top three female vocalists of all time.
Singers?
Yep.
Oh, I'm in love with Beyonce is my ideal like woman. Like if
Mhm.
I met a girl like her, I'll leave the boys alone.
Yeah.
Beyonce is number one. I love Beyonce more than anybody, and I just do. I just love everything about her. My second vocalist would be Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay.
Just, just makes me feel some kind of way.
Mhm.
Um, bitch, on a dark and stormy night, and I'm going through. I'm gonna probably have to say number three would be Kelly Price,
Okay.
and put that bitch, put that second album on Mirror Mirror, and just let it play. And
So
tell me
look, so let me ask you real quick though. So those are your top female vocalists, or those just your top three female artists?
they can sing vocal power,
Yeah. Who you feel like can
vocal
sing? Bring the
can
house down.
ooh can sing,
Right. Can sing.
can sing. Mm. Oh.
Black, white, whatever.
Oh, now or they are just
Whenever. Whoever
well,
your top three is.
I just really think that they could just sing and it got no better at her was Whitney Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you talking about could sing,
Mm-hmm.
there was nobody better than her. There
Okay.
was nobody better than her. You know what I'm saying? Pure, clear range,
Mhm.
Whitney Houston.
Okay.
That there's somebody, and I'm done. There was nobody better than her.
Okay. So Whitney, your
Mother,
number one, and
mother,
then that's it.
mother. Whitney would be my number one. Um, um, Make Me Feel Good, Fantasia. Um, um, um,
So you feel like Fantasia can sing.
I do. She
Okay.
make me feel some kind of way.
Okay.
She make me feel mission accomplished. She make me feel
Okay.
some kind of way. Um, who else? I'm probably missing somebody. Can sing.
Sing.
Oh, mhm. That's it to me. Everybody
Okay.
else, I just really like when you said it. The people that I think about, or if I put on, um, um, that's those about the people.
If my top three vocalists of all times is my number one is Beyonce.
Yeah.
My number two is Adele.
Okay.
And and then my number three is um oh my god, why can I not think of her name? She won Mass Singer, white chick.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
Um damn.
Candyberries.
No, she white. Candy, I like Candy, but I don't think Candy got that range. Like if Candy, if Beyonce went, Candy cannot come back after Beyonce. Like ain't no, I don't think she got a chance.
Yeah.
Beyonce can't go first. Candy would have to go first and then Beyonce.
Okay. All
But
right.
but damn, I really want to tell you who my third one is. It's Leanne Rhymes.
Oh wow. Okay. You
Leanne
versatile.
Rhymes can
Yeah.
sing.
Oh, and also I would have to throw here on a jazzy circuit, Anita Baker and Rochelle Farrell.
Okay. I don't know who
Rochelle
Rochelle Perez is.
Rochelle Farrell is a jazz singer and has crazy range.
Okay.
Her, Layla Hathaway, those girls are their voices are instruments. They're
Mm-hmm.
instruments. But you never asked me about the party next week, so I guess I'll
Yeah,
plug that in.
we was getting there. We was getting there. I was gonna ask you, got any shout outs, anything you want to plug?
First of all, I wanted to say this. I wanted like, and I think I did say it. I like to shout out to all the promoters that as I'm going into this celebration, all the people that are in the industry, constantly trying to make sure that people are having a place to go. I know this shit get frustrating. Don't get discouraged about venues shutting down on you because you just got to know how to play the game. Find somebody that understands. Even if you have to take a break, find somebody that understands. And be intent on what you're trying to give to the people, and they will support you. Be consistent and be intentional on what you're doing. Um, so next week, it's my party. It's my anniversary party. It's an industry party. So I, some of everybody, I want everybody to come. It's free. I made all the events free. Um, so it's a pool/day party. It started at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Uh, um, uh, the bar is amazing. The drinks are cheap. We got hookahs on the outside. It's just gonna be some of everything going on. I got some vendors. I'm still asking people that want to vend, just really trying to get this shit out there that they can come. Even if you got like a little brand, like what you do, you know what I'm saying? Go and come out there and promote your shit. Um,
Okay.
it's just a good networking opportunity. I know the holidays is coming up, Memorial Day, Juneteenth weekend. It's a great opportunity for promoters to come out and let people see you and get your shit out there. If you're running from a political office, it's a good opportunity for people to come out and see you because that's my intent. That's what I've always been about in networking.
Okay.
Uh, um, After that, it's the red party start at 2 o'clock and it's until. So if you go somewhere else, you still can come over there because we're gonna still be over there rocking and rolling in our red. And it's in the Bristol bar inside the Crown Plaza.
Okay.
This is also an introduction to what I'm going to be doing moving forward on Saturdays. It's going to be a day party every Saturday, not in the pool, but it'll be in the bar, the
Okay.
Bristol bar area. So every Saturday after that, from 4 until 9, or 4 until you'll be able to just come over there and catch the vibe in the hotel. Like I said, the hotel is amazing. It's been renovated. I was surprised it was the same hotel. Um,
Okay.
so you still can come over there and have that good lounge experience and do whatever it is that you want to do. They got food. The food is good. They're actually catering the food for me for the red party. Uh, so so that's just giving people a place to come to on Saturdays, even after at night. So keep in mind, after 2 a.m., we don't have any after hour places, but
Okay.
I'm gonna still be rocking and rolling in the hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you can still come over there and catch the vibe and party till 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, or whatever. Beauty of about a hotel, bitch. You can bring your you can bring your something to drink because the bar with us is gonna stop at 2, but it's the hotel, so you can bring your drink
Mm-hmm.
and drink over there, do your BYOB in the
Yeah.
hotel and catch the vibe. So I wanted to do that too because I wanted to make sure that we still had something after the fact on Saturdays for people to come to and have a good time.
Okay.
So yeah, just me think about that, and then I got more coming up, but I just got to feed y'all. Juneteenth is coming up, and I'll be at lit uh, for the Just Black Party. It's my third year in a row that I'm doing that all black party Sunday night. That's gonna be a vibe, and another
I
day party.
I got some ideas too for you
Uh, okay,
for promotion. I'm gonna tell you off camera, but
okay.
I got some ideas for you. I think it could work and help grow your audience on social media.
hmm
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel good about, like I said, the stuff that I'm doing this year uh more than ever. Like I said, I went through a period where I just was turning down shit last year. I said, no, I won't do that. Yeah. Because if it don't feel good, and then I don't trust club owners. Like sometimes club owners come in here and make $60,000. How you gonna make 60? Or just hypothetically, just playing, but
Right.
they want you to. I don't want to put people in a place to pay for $30 drinks.
So you brought that up real quick. Let me ask you. Um, do you know who Rainwater is?
Who's that?
The he's an artist. He's Mo3 manager.
Mm-mm.
Rain. Okay, anyway. So he was talking on the podcast and he was saying how he helped throw an event that cost about $35,000, but the promoter only made 18. So they didn't even break even. Do you think that that's coming amongst
Oh my!
promoters?
Oh hell yeah! I always tell people this. Like I have went in the negative so much just on bar guarantees. You see what I'm saying? Like I could come in with a $1,500 payout, but if the bar doesn't make what it's supposed to make, I have to pay the remaining balance of what that bar guarantee was. So people have to be careful about guaranteeing bars and things like that
Mm,
because it's entrapment. Because think about it, a lot of people they don't want to pay to get in clubs, which makes no sense to me because I came from an era, bitch. You pay, now everybody wants something for free.
right.
But you see what I'm saying? So it is like you do go in the hole a lot. Even when I was throwing like balls, I may have spent. Just think about it. Like I may have had categories, and it was just $10,000 in categories, right?
Mm,
But you got the venue, you have to get the trophies, you have to bring up, got people that's coming and all of those things. So it can be expensive, and you may not break even, uh, because what you expected to happen didn't happen. So it's
right.
it's kind of like trial and error uh, with throwing events. I went into a situation, actually speaking of balls, where I had somebody that I was supposed to do something and they didn't, you know, and I was fucked, you know.
Right.
So you don't make. I know they think that we get rich. Nah, mm-mm. Not saying that it hasn't been lucrative. What I'm saying is, I had to grow into learning how to negotiate my business, even when I was at Ellen Pearl, because for so long, what they were trying to do was keep me. You wanted me to create all these events for you, but you want to kind of still treat me like I'm just the MC. So that's why they was very clear about how they were using me, right? No,
Mhm.
this it was my event. I
Right.
MC'd it and put together the event, and you want to pay me an MCing fee? No, 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 no.
Hmm.
That's why they got mad at me and they fired me. And I ended up taking everybody at Elma Pearl to club. It was Icon at the time. It was Club Shay. I took
Okay.
everybody over there and had Elma Pearl empty as fuck
Yeah.
because he didn't respect me. I loved them, but the owner did not respect me. So everybody think that it was just so great for me at Elma Pearl. No, he didn't respect me. He underpaid me. You see what I'm saying? A lot. He underpaid me a lot. So now everything that I do is through my company now, Industry Kings. That's the name of my promotional company, Industry Kings. I do everything through Industry King. Everything,
Hmm.
everything. Because yeah, we can negotiate everything, but at the end of the day, when I send somebody a contract, it's gonna have my shit on there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they will get over you. If you are MC and you have a following, be bigger than just you being an MC. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But people have to learn that it took me a long time to understand really what my brand was. I started branding myself.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And people have to understand that, because the club owners they want to play these games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always say this too, like uh, Wanda, MC, and Marty's bitch. She could have did so much with her motherfucking name because I see her bigger than what she is. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have the willingness to brand yourself. Same thing I did with PT. They have to have the, and I never wanted to be stuck like that. I wanted to surpass. That's why I said and now it's time for me to regroup and change who I am and not just be perceived as a male entertainer or an
Yeah.
MC. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah, that baby, she could clean house. If she, yeah, I'm just telling you, she can get. Oh, I don't even talk about that. You have sponsors and all those people paying to your brand.
Oh, well, then why y'all don't have the conversation and put her on game?
I'm talking about it now.
Yeah, okay. Well, shout out,
But no, I
shout
mean
out
that's
to
what I'm
you.
saying. I think when I think about them, like one day Pizza Betty's so talented. They just needed to have that push. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they talented. And I know it can be seen like, oh, they bickering. No, I recognize y'all talent. The community will make us be into it, but I'm not into it
Mhm.
with nobody. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like I recognize how talented a lot of these people are. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, I definitely appreciate you for coming through. It was a good ass interview. I ain't gonna lie, I was actually, I think, way 10,000 times better than I expected because I thought it was gonna be good, but it was like real good.
Oh yeah.
So, and I appreciate you for giving us a lot of history and then, giving me some information about a ball and just things like that, how you started, the different clubs and sneaking in and Misha's. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely appreciate that. I feel like that I'm pretty sure that you get your flowers. I'm out of the loop as far as like, the different award ceremonies and stuff that go on because I feel like the boys have something totally different than the girls. So I'm kind of out of touch with the different
Yeah.
ceremonies and stuff that y'all may have.
I I think the biggest award accomplishment that I think that means something to me was to get the BHAP Community Mobilization Award, and
Okay.
it came through the BHAP during the BHAP conference, and that for me is people that you typically recognize that have really been doing things in the community, and I did want it. At that point, I realized that people did see that I was doing more then and just like the events and stuff, that's kind of like the basis of it. But at the same time, I wanted people to know that when I am saying things, I want it to be a relatable person, and that's why I don't stray away from my past, my future, and my present. I did so that meant the most to me because that meant that somebody, a group of people collectively, to sit at a table and to say this person has really been pouring into this community.
Right.
That meant more to me than anything in the world because I have really tried in so many ways to kind of redeem myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I'm the most grateful. And all my awards they go to my mama house. Only thing that's here right now is my legendary plaque, but I don't keep
Oh,
awards in my house
they gave you a plaque. That's
for
what's up.
legendary status.
That plaque.
Oh yeah, oh
Mhm.
they give you
Yeah, let
this
me
right
see
here.
that. No, you
Oh
got to
yeah.
show us that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is probably, but everything else is at my mom's. She want this too, but yeah, but
Okay.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you. Thank you. This was a great interview. It was better than what I expected. Because I was kind of saying I have this thing about staying within the lines, but I also realize sometimes I like how you say all bullshit aside because you want relatability, being honest
Mm-hmm.
and intentional, and I don't know how to be any other way. So, yeah. So,
Yeah. We
oh, something
appreciate
that you
it.
said that you didn't know about me is my nickname,
What's
but
your nickname?
I'll let the people tell it.
If
My
y'all know, drop
nickname
it in the comments.
is Chicken.
Chicken. How you get that nickname before you let me go?
Oh, we. Cause I like chicken. That's still my favorite food. Like, yeah. So it's stuck. So if people like most people, they just did not call me Shamar. They were like chicken, chicken, chicken.
So who
Yeah.
got the best chicken in Dallas?
Oh, oh my God.
Who got it?
Mm. Oh my God, with me not honestly, to me right now, it's Mike's chicken.
Mike's chicken. Where's Mike's chicken? I don't think I heard of Mike's.
It's on Maple.
Okay,
That
I'm gonna have
shit
to check
good.
Mike's out.
It's good.
Okay,
Mike's chicken is the best to me right now. And I mean, I go to so many places in Oak Cliff.
okay.
Yeah, but Mike's chicken is the best chicken to me right now.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
shout out Mike's chicken. Shout out Shamar again for coming through. Y'all know what it is. All bullshit aside. I seen Miss Ruby Scott in the comments. Can I get that interview? Shamar, plug me in, man. Some of these people who y'all tell me who I need to talk to. Y'all
Oh
need to DM me
wow!
and tell
So
me who I need to talk to.
all bullshit side is really yeah, you're doing good. Make sure you talk to Ruby. Ruby has an amazing career. I dropped. Let me see. Who else that you probably want to talk to? That um, you can talk to Kennedy. She about like me.
Okay.
Talk to Rude Boy.
Yeah, because I need to ask her how you was acting.
Talk to Rude Boy. Talk to Rude Boy. Talk to some of these promoters that's doing stuff so you can find out so the people can know what they're trying to do.
Okay.
You will be their best platform. You know what I'm saying? They need to let people know what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, yeah, but most definitely talk to Ruby, talk to
Chris D.
Wanda, Christy, shit. Oh, I can go on and on. Talk to what is that damn boy name? Talk to you know who I want you to talk to?
Who?
Uh Suki.
Who is Suki?
He's this male dancer, and he's actually like, in my opinion, like the only real male dancer that we got left. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
just kind of want to know what he feel like about male exotic dancing and
Okay.
what has changed, and you know what I'm saying. That'll be a
Okay.
good interview. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, plug me in. Tell Suki to get at me, and we
Yeah.
gonna set it up. We're gonna be
Yeah.
right here on Facebook Live, 8 p.m. sometime Monday through Friday. It's a pop-up podcast, y'all. So you never know who might be on or when we might be on. I gave you these hot three so y'all can sit on these for a little bit. And then yeah, just stay tuned to see who next, because again, you just never know who it might be.
And
Again, thank you.
come to that pool party next week at the Crown.
Yeah, pool party.
Stemmons and Markenberg.
Pool party at the Crown off Stemmons and Markenberg. Make sure y'all pull up. It's free.
Yeah.
The events
Yeah.
are free. Y'all know y'all like free.
I do.
Y'all know y'all like free. And a free pool party where y'all doing it? A free
And,
gay pool party?
and ask for some chicken wings. The chicken wings are good.
You gotta eat the wings.
Yeah.
Gotta eat the wings.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Shamar, thank you again. And we out.
Bye.